Alright, today we're going to talk about how to play the grid for E flat major and C minor. Please go ahead and pause the tutorial, grab your music sheet, tune up your ukulele, and we're going to get started in about a second. Okay, so you got your music sheet. I hopefully you got a bunch of notes on here. Maybe you even needed another piece of paper to add on to your notes. If you need to take more notes on this tutorial, by all means do so. The more notes you take, the more it's going to help you out. So we're going to be playing show you how to play the E flat major grid and C minor grid. Like I said earlier, the key of E flat is not very popular to play in, although people do play in it. When you start getting into more of a jazz connotation, E flat kind of becomes even more popular. But for ukulele players, C minor is pretty popular to play in, and that's why we're kind of going over this for the sake of that. Now, you want to keep in mind I'll be discussing the family of chords in relationship to the grid. So I'll be calling out like the 1 chord, which is E flat, the 4, which is A flat. Okay, this is how I make my A flat. It's actually a bar chord A flat, but it's the same thing as this chord, the A flat chord. And the 5/7 is the B flat 7 chord. Okay, so another bar chord. These chords are covered in the courses that we have to offer when we teach you about bar chords. I believe it's in the premium course that covers all the different kinds of chords that are available to you, and more chords that you can utilize for playing the ukulele. Okay, then, since we're going to be talking about C minor, I'm also going to be calling out 1 minor, which is C minor, 2 minor, which is F minor, and then the 5/7 in the key of C minor, which would be your G7. Okay, keep in mind that when you're using the family of chords, as long as you stay within the family of chords, all these notes in the grid are going to work. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll just play 1, 4, 5, 7, 1. Okay, so E flat, A flat, B flat 7, and then back to the 1. There we go. So basically the tonality of the rhythm is like this, kind of E flat to the A flat, to the B flat 7, and then back to the 1, E flat. And the notes I'm going to play is just this. Okay, and all that is D. Basically I'm playing within the scale. Coming back down, hitting the E flat, ending on the B flat note. Once again, and so it would be D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, G, F, E flat, B flat. So just think of the notes in the scale, and that's based off the C minor scale. Okay, I'm just playing some notes in there, but since I was playing those chords, the E flat and the A flat and the B flat 7, you notice that the notes that I'm playing out of it sounds very majorish and not minor. Okay, and if I move to the E flat scale position right there, I'll take some notes, not out of the whole scale, but some of them. For instance, let me play those chords for you again. E flat, A flat, B flat 7, E flat. And I'm going to go, let's see here. So I'll go G, A flat, B flat, C, E flat, D, C. Okay, that's all it is. So that was based off the E flat scale, or something like. Okay, all that was E flat, D, C, B, C, B flat, A flat, G, F. And you can also make up your own. So try that too, okay? Don't forget the techniques that we taught in previous tutorials, like hammer-ons, E flat to an F, pull-offs, F to an E flat, pluck and pull off, hammer-on, pluck and hammer-on. The trick to the hammer-on is that as soon as you pluck it, you're bringing down that finger. Okay? Slides with a vibrato. So let's see, let's say we slide from an A flat to a B flat, A flat to a B flat. The vibrato. It'd be good that you can utilize the vibrato with at least 3 fingers at minimum. 4 would be great. Okay. We talked about trills. That's a G to an A flat. Okay. So if you're playing, and I'll just play a B flat 7. So trills are kind of good depending on where your notes are to bring you back to the 1 chord, the E flats. So in other words, B flat 7, trill, 1 chord, E flat. Okay, now let's get into the minor, which is I think is a little more interesting when you're playing the scales. So 1 minor, C minor, 4 minor, F minor, 5, 7 in the key of C minor is G7. Okay, so let's say the strumming pattern is as such: 2 F minor, 2 5 7 G7 to a C minor. Bottom half of a E flat major scale. F minor, G7, 5 7. Back to the 1 minor. Now reverse that pattern. So what I did was the first time I picked it, okay, coming down. So I'm going E flat D C, E flat D C, E flat D C. And the second time I'm reversing it, C, D, E flat, C, D, E flat, C, D, E flat, okay? And that's that's taking off the bottom section of your basic E flat major scale. But since we're playing in the key of C minor, it fits. It sounds good. Like I said, as long as you're playing the family of chords, whatever notes you're going to play, it's going to fit. Here we go. Here's a basic E flat major scale. Up, going down, and then remember that first lick that I did? Okay. Another one you can do is like, remember we talked about the sliding from an A flat to a B flat. Like I did in reverse, C, D, E flat. Okay, now here's another neat one. It's the bending note from a D to an E flat, D to an E flat. Okay, and you bend it up, or you can bend it up and down, or up. Okay, bending up. Bending up and down, bending up, bending up and down. Okay, so you can see when you bend it, you need some help. Especially the lower down you go on your fretboard, the more help you're going to need from the other strings. The higher you bend up the fretboard, the less help you're going to need. But you still need help from the other fingers. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's the right here. Hear that note right there? That's your D note. So I'm going to need some help from my second finger and first finger to bend it up. Okay, and that's a little hard because you're bending down the lower on the fretboard. So you really need to press and push up. Okay, and don't forget your sliding and vibratos. So try some of that. When you do work it out in sections. So that was basically, I'm working off of the basic E flat major scale right in this position right here. And it fits with the C minor progression in the key of C minor. And then don't forget that you have other areas of the scale pattern section that we went over previous to this tutorial. So as you learn the different sections, you're able to connect them. Okay, so that's the whole idea. Is what you want to do is, if you can envision the whole fretboard, okay, because that's the goal. The goal is to envision the whole fretboard so you can utilize playing. Okay, but if you can't do that, break it down into sections. For instance, okay, first section is the C minor. Okay, basic C minor. Then go to the next section, maybe the E flat major scale. Bottom half of the E flat major scale, and then move on up the scale pattern from maybe an F to an F on your 5th fret. We talked about that. Okay, but you're connecting the sections so that you can better utilize them, and then eventually, as you practice them, okay, you're going to be able to see the entire grid. And when you're able to do that, you're able to play, create, use the resources a lot better, a lot more proficient, and it really sounds wonderful when you start to do that. And I also want to recommend that you make up your own skill patterns and melodic lead lines by using the template of the blank grid, okay, and write in your own little creations and creative melodic lines, and keep the ones you like, discard the ones you don't like. You can make as many copies of these, and by all means have fun with it, really enjoy it. I think that the ones that are more enjoyable are really the ones that you create. I know you can get influenced by the people you listen to, well, your favorite artists, your favorite bands, your favorite type of music. Take the melodies that you hear, try to incorporate those melodies into your playing. Write them down as you figure them out on your blank template and start creating. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so kind of back this up and this tutorial up and give it another listen to. Very important that you do so, and keep in mind that all the tutorials that you've heard throughout the course, there's little bits of information that I talk about that are not talked about in other tutorials. So you need to listen to these tutorials over and over to pick up the subtle information that I talk about that expands on the information for using scales and beyond. Okay, with that being said, give that another listen to. Try it again. Write down as much notes as you can, and listen to. Go back and listen to the other tutorials. See if there's some information that you might have missed, and we'll see you for the next lesson.